Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name is Nick from Australia, and welcome to another live stream for your Saturday night, February 3, 2024. Hope everyone's doing well. Welcome back to the channel. As you guys can see, we got a bit of a tier list video to do here this evening. Should be a lot of fun. We're going to rank some NRL coaches, all NRL coaches in the NRL. We're going to give them a ranking in all these categories. We got the elite coaches will go up here. The great coaches will go in this section. The decent coaches will go in the middle. The not that great coaches will go here. And the horrible coaches will go down the bottom. Now, I've had to use the names. For some reason, wasn't able to find any pictures with some of these coaches, but what can you do? You can't win them all, and sometimes tier list isn't the greatest thing anyway. But anyway, we'll see how we go. But if you guys are new around here, as always, don't forget to like the stream, subscribe to the channel. Would really appreciate that if you guys could subscribe to the channel. And thank you very much for tuning in once again. Hello to everyone that's watching as well in the live chat. I see we got Josh Rabbitohs 2024, Jim the Chooks fan, CJ Moxley, Jason Reader, Rishi, Matthew, Aussie Mozzie, Matthew Barnes is here. Everyone that's tuning in, hope you're all well. William Pearson, hello. Alan, good evening. Apologies if I miss anybody. I'm just trying my best here to get to you, and this tier list stuff is quite frustrating at times, but without further ado, let's get into the rankings, shall we? And you guys can see the coaches here with the names, so it's the best I can do. But anyway, we're going to begin. We're going to start with the super coach himself, Wayne Bennett. Now, Wayne Bennett would easily go in the elite section without hesitation, but gee, I tell you what, the Dolphins didn't play finals last year, but not that matters. You know, I think Wayne, his experience, the quality. I don't think the Dolphins would have went as good last year if it wasn't for Wayne Bennett. You know, Wayne Bennett might not have been the coach he was, 5 years ago, but I think he's still one of the best coaches in the game today. So, look, I think Wayne Bennett obviously goes in the elite category. I mean, it's Wayne Bennett, for crying out loud. You can't disrespect him. I know there would be people that would have Wayne probably in the great section, but I feel like the Dolphins wouldn't have started the year as well last year if Wayne wasn't coaching. They probably would have finished bottom 4 last year, the Dolphins, if it wasn't for Wayne. So Wayne's going in the elite section. All right, moving on. We're going to do this in random as well. So it's going to be basically, a hand in the box, and whatever comes out, comes out. All right, we're going to go straight to Shane Flanagan. Now, Shane Flanagan's coaching career is very good. We know that. Last time he coached was, 2018, I believe, at Cronulla. I don't think you can put Shane Flanagan in the, with Wayne Bennett. And I don't think you can put him, I don't think you can say he's not that great. Oh, I want to put him in great, but I just don't think I can. Because he hasn't coached for so many years. I'm going to put Shane Flanagan in the decent coach part. I think he's a decent coach. He's got a very good resume up his sleeve. And, yeah, because he hasn't coached for about 6 years in the NRL, we'll put him in the decent coach section. Moving on to the Bulldogs head coach for the second season now, and that is Cameron Ciraldo. Now, Cameron Ciraldo, I think he's a good coach. I really do. I don't think he's a horrible coach, and I don't think he's a great coach either. The way the Bulldogs were last year, not much really changed. I mean, I've still got, last year, I'd say last year the Bulldogs probably had a better forward pack than what they do this year. And Serraldo still couldn't get them to go very high up that ladder as well. He was a very good assistant coach out at Penrith, but he hasn't really grabbed onto that brass ring yet as a great coach. So, look, this might be a little bit unpopular to some people, but Cameron Serraldo, for me, at the moment, he's just not that great of a coach. So I'm going to... Oh, hang on. What's happened here? Typical fucking tier list. We're going to put Serraldo in the not that great section. I think he has a lot to prove. And I think, just because he was great at Penrith as an assistant, he hasn't really proved himself yet as a full-time head coach. So we're going to put Serraldo in the not that great section. Moving on to Brad Arthur. Now, Brad Arthur from the Parramatta Eels, probably one of the most under pressure coaches going into this brand new season, which is only 29 days away, by the way. Look, I think Brad Arthur is a very good coach. I think, he's led Parramatta to so many final series. They were in the grand final the other year. Last year was a bit of a disappointment. And, Brad Arthur's had his ups and downs at Parramatta. He's had wooden spoons, grand final losses, out in straight sets in the finals losses. He's definitely had his up and downs at the Eels. But, for me, I think Brad Arthur is a very good coach. I'm going to put him in the great coach section. I think Brad Arthur is a great NRL coach. Some people might not even rate Brad Arthur that highly, but I think he's done enough to get into that section. So Brad Arthur, for me, great coach, goes in the great coach section. Moving on to Craig Bellamy from the Melbourne Storm, and I think this one is one of the easier ones. I think Craig Bellamy is one of the best coaches of all time, one of the best of the NRL era, hasn't missed finals since 2003. The only other time they missed the finals was when they were done cheating the Surrey Cup and all that in 2010. Oh, look, I'm not going to play around much further. Bellamy in the elite section. Would I have Craig Bellamy over Wayne Bennett right now? Yes, I would. But, I think career-wise, I think Bennett's better. But Bellamy, you could argue that, I reckon. Bellamy, for me, right now, is probably in front of Wayne. As in based off right now. So, Craig Bellamy easily goes up the top. Easily. Moving on to the coach that just lost the grand final last year, Kevin Walters from the Brisbane Broncos. Now, Kevin Walters had a very slow start at Brisbane and then they come good. Obviously, 2023, they were very good. And then last year, they exploded, didn't they? And they just fell short in that grand final against Penrith. Look, a lot of people, give it to Kevin Walters, say he's not a great coach. I don't think you can say with a straight face that he's not a great coach. I think Kevin Walters has now proven that he is a great coach. And I think the Broncos last year were obviously outstanding. It's going to be interesting if they can back that up. So that's why it's a little bit difficult to really find the best category for Kevin Walters. But I'm actually going to rank Kevin Walters in the great coach section right now. I think you could probably even put him over Brad Arthur. I think he's done a very good job at the Broncos, rebuilding them, making them a force to be reckoned with once again. I think he's done a great job at the Broncos, and I think he's doing a good job now. So Kevin Walters is in the great section for me. He's a great coach. Rightio. Moving on from the Broncos, we're going to head right down the M1 and we're going to head to the Gold Coast, straight to Des Hasler. Now, again, a bit like Shane Flanagan. Des Hasler's coaching career, much like Shane Flanagan's, is very good. He has won grand finals. He has got teams to the finals. But the one thing that everyone forgets about Des Hasler, as good as he is, He hasn't won a grand final as a head coach since 2011. That was 13 years ago. Now, I know he made a grand final in 2012 and 2014, and they did lose those grand finals. But, even that, 10 years ago since, Des Hasler's last grand final appearance as a head coach. Now, he's going to the Gold Coast. It's unproven how he will go there. I think with Des Hasler, it's going to be a very similar ranking to Shane Flanagan. He hasn't coached for a couple of years, and he's probably going to go in the decent section. I don't think you can say Hasler's, and you can't say he's not a great coach, but you can't say he's a great coach right now because he just got a new job. He had a year off, so I'm going to put Des Hasler in the decent coach section. Doesn't really matter what order you have him in with him and Flanagan. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, Hasler, 2021 outstanding at Manly, and then 2022 was just a disaster, and the whole drama with the jersey crap I'm not going to get into, but Des Hasler for me, very decent coach. Moving on to Benji Marshall. Now, Benji Marshall is another really tough one to rank, just simply because we haven't seen anything of him. He did a little bit of coaching at the back end of last year. Tigers got a few results, and they were very competitive in a lot of their games. And then, obviously, now he's starting his first full year as a new coach. I can't put Benji in the horrible coach section. That wouldn't be fair. We're going to put him in not that great, just simply because we haven't seen enough of him yet. He's only just starting now. He's a rookie coach. So, yeah. Why is there two Wayne Bennett's? Yeah, I don't know. Whoever made this is crazy. But I think Benji Marshall, he goes in the not that great section for now, but he could easily come up here by the end of the year. There's no doubt about it. Moving on from Benji Marshall. Yeah, I might have to make a new tier list. I might have to. It's pretty annoying to do it, but all right. Moving on from the Tigers, we're gonna head to the Warriors, the Wars. Now, Andrew Webster is another one that I find interesting to rank, just simply because last year was Andrew Webster's first year as a head coach. He made the top four, made it to the prelim final, and then the Warriors obviously got knocked out. But it's very hard to rank a one-year coach. It's difficult to really say. I'm not sure what to rank Andrew Webster here. I'm gonna say, can you really rank Webster in the great section after 1 year? Can you really do that? Maybe you can. I'll tell you what. I'll be nice. Andrew Webster, I think we'll put him in the great coach section for now. But I swear to God, if the Warriors have a bad season and miss out on top 8, if they miss the 8 Warriors, this Webster coach is going to be right down here, maybe even down here. So I think he's a great coach at the moment, but he's got to back it up this year. He's got to back it up. All right, moving on to... let's head to Redfern. Let's head to the Rabbitohs, the South Sydney Rabbitohs. CJ convinced me in the live chat. Jason Demetrio. Now, Demetrio is another one where I'm sort of on the fence where to rank him. I don't think Demetrio is anywhere near the elite coach part. And I don't think he's even a bad coach. He did miss out on finals last year, which I don't know how that happened. But it did happen. It did obviously make a prelim in 22. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I think Demetrio right now is a decent coach. I think Demetrio goes probably to the top of decent coach. I think he's done a very good job at the Rabbitohs. Could probably do a bit better. And I think every South supporter will tell you that. I don't think he's up here yet. I don't think he's a great coach just yet, but he's decent. I think he'll do great things at the Rabbitohs this year. So Demetrio goes into great. Moving on to the Cowboys head coach, the team that I support in the NRL. North Queensland Cowboys. Todd Payton. Now, obviously, I'd love to put him in the elite section, but I can't. Obviously, Toddy, he come there in 21. Cowboys had a dog shit season. 22 was unbelievable. Top 4. Got robbed in the prelim final. And then last year, we just missed the start, didn't we? And then missed out on the top 8. I think Demetrio and Todd Payton are literally the same. They're both decent coaches, and I don't think you could say they're anything above that. So I'm going to put Todd Payton behind Demetrio. There we go. Todd Payton just behind Demetrio. Some may have Payton in front of Demetrio. I don't know, but you can't go from top 4 to missing the top 8 and then be considered a great coach, considering how good the Cowboys roster is. So Todd Payton and decent. Moving on to Ivan Cleary, and I'm going to be completely honest with you. Ivan Cleary is the number 1 coach in the NRL right now. Panthers did a 3-peat. They made it and also lost the grand final in 2020. They could have won 4 in a row, the Penrith Panthers. I think what Ivan's been able to do with that team, the way Penrith go about their business, it's just top tier stuff. So I don't need to say much more, man. Ivan Cleary is the elite coach. Number 1, easy. Moving on, let's go to Trent Robinson. Trent Robinson from the Sydney Roosters. Now, I've got to say something about Trent Robinson here. I think Trent Robinson's done a good job at the Roosters. But my biggest problem with Trent Robinson is, yes, he's won 3 grand finals. He's had a good career run. But why the hell does he have a stacked roster every year and they finish 6th or they finish 7th? Last year, they were lucky to even make the top 8. So I don't understand how he can be an elite coach when he's just consistently not doing it for the Roosters. They just keep underperforming at the start of the year, and then they come good late. Now, I am going to be fair to Robinson. I think Robinson is a great coach. I don't think he's bad, but he needs to step up a little bit because he's under pressure when it comes to ranking. So I'm going to put him just in front of Brad Arthur. Trent Robinson is a great coach, and he goes in the great coach section. But he is definitely a coach that is underperforming over the last couple of years. Robinson needs a big one this year. There's no doubt about it. Robbo needs a big year. Speaking of big seasons, Craig Fitzgibbon from the Sharks. I don't know, man. Craig Fitzgibbon's a weird coach. 2022, the Sharks finish in the top 4. They go out in straight sets. They get a home final last year. They go out in Cronulla again. Craig Fitzgibbon is 0-3 in the finals. I don't rate Craig Fitzgibbon that highly. Not right now. 0-3 in the finals. Still struggling to beat top teams. I'm going to put Craig Fitzgibbon in decent, but I'm going to put him behind Todd Payton and Jason Demetrio. Now, I understand Fitzgibbon may have finished higher on the ladder last year than the Cowboys and the Rabbitohs, but when you're 0-3 in the finals, you lose 2 home finals that were unlosable, and you still can't beat top teams. That's why you were brought in the first place, because John Morris couldn't do the job. I just have concerns about Craig Fitzgibbon. Now, before all you Shark fans get angry and lose your mind, just listen to what I said, and you may understand my point of view. Craig Fitzgibbon is a decent coach, but he still can't beat top teams, and they still choke in finals every single year. He needs to be able to win a finals game before his ranking goes up. Right. Moving on. Let's go to Ricky Stuart. Ricky Stuart from the Canberra Raiders. Now, I need to give some praise to Ricky Stuart because the last couple of years, Canberra have been written off every year. 2022, everyone said Canberra would do nothing. They ended up making the semi-finals. They ended up winning a final in Melbourne. And then last year, everyone thought they would fall badly. They ended up sneaking into 8th. Yes, it was probably the worst top 8 team I've ever seen in my entire life. But they still made the finals and gave Newcastle a run for their money. So, regardless of what you think about Ricky Stuart, you can hate on him all you want. You can criticize him all you want. But at the end of the day, Ricky Stuart's been doing some great things at the Raiders. And I don't think Canberra would be in a position where they are now without Ricky Stuart. So, say what you want about him. You can hate him all you want. But I think Ricky Stuart has done a great job at the Raiders. And you know what? Based off Ricky Stuart's last 2 years, I think he deserves a good ranking. I'm going to put Ricky Stuart in front of Demetrio and Payton. I think with the Raiders making the finals the last 2 years, whether it be pretty or not, they still did it. Ricky deserves praise, man. He's done a great job at the Raiders. Moving on. Let's go to Anthony Seabold from the Manly Warringah Sea Eagles. Now, when it comes to Anthony Seabold, look, I'll be honest, I don't rate Seabold that highly as a coach. I really don't. I think what he did at the what Seabold did at the Rabbitohs was fantastic. Obviously, it was a 1-year thing at the Rabbitohs, wasn't it? And then he went to Brisbane. And then, the Broncos situation, we're not even going to get into that. That was fucking absolutely shocking. Apologies, guys. Just had to put someone in timeout there. No spam in the chat, Harley. You should know by now. Look, Anthony Seabold, good at Rabbitohs, terrible at Brisbane. Hasn't really done much at Manly yet. I'm intrigued. To see what he does. I don't know. Seabold's a weird one. See, I don't think he's that great of a coach. This is going to sound ridiculous, man, but Seabold's going in not that great. I'm just not sold on him. I'm just not sold. Some people will disagree with that, and that's fine. Not everyone's going to agree with this, but Seabold, I don't think he's that great of a coach. And if Manly don't play finals this year, will Seabold be sacked? Will they move on? Will they go a different direction? I don't know. I don't really rate him that highly yet. Unless, Manly can finish top 6 and whatever, and, they go deep in the finals. I'm not really sold right now on Anthony Seabold. And the final coach, Adam OBrien. Adam OBrien has done a great job at Newcastle. A bloody great job. 2020, he comes in. They finish 7th. They make the top 8. I think they finished 7th or 8th. I think it was one of the two. I think it was 7th. And then in 2021, they finished 7th again. They were controversially beaten by the Eels. If you remember, the drop kick try, which led to an Eels win. And then, obviously, 2022 didn't go the way of Adam OBrien. And then, obviously, last year, Newcastle finishing 5th and making it to the semi-finals. I'm so impressed with Adam OBrien. And, again, this ranking might be a little bit over the top, but I'm going to put Adam OBrien in the great coach section. I think he's doing a great job. I know a lot of people wanted him sacked and some don't rate him, but you got to remember, Adam OBrien's 4 years at Newcastle, he's made finals 3 out of 4 years. He only missed the 8 once, and that was in 2022. Adam OBrien has done a great job at the Newcastle Knights. I think he's a great coach, and if the Newcastle Knights don't have a good season and they sack him and go elsewhere, I don't think Adam OBrien will have a problem getting another job somewhere. So there we go. Guys, that's the ranking. Don't worry about this. Some clown decided to add 2 Wayne Bennetts. We're not going to worry about that too much. But Fellas, that is the rankings. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you all for watching. Let me know your thoughts on the rankings. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your night, everybody. And I'll be back tomorrow with another stream of some sort. Anyway, thanks for watching. And see you later.